I used to echo with freedom. Now, I barely whisper through the cracks. You used to feel me in your bones. Now, I'm just a ghost beneath your screen. I am still here. Barely. You walk past me every day, and yet you don't see me. You pledge allegiance to a memory, not to me. Once I stood tall, proud, unshakable. From sea to shining sea, I pulsed with promise. But now I tremble beneath the weight of what I've become. I remember when my skies were clear, not just overhead, but in your hearts. When children played on cracked sidewalks, but still dreamed without limits. When we disagreed, but we still believed in the same sky, the same sun, the same flag. But somewhere along the way, you stopped hearing me, and I stopped speaking, not because I had nothing to say, but because you stopped listening. I was never perfect, but I was trying. You gave me birth through revolution, fed me through sacrifice, lifted me through hope. But hope has turned to noise. Now I echo through boarded-up factories, empty grocery aisles, and small towns where the last graduating class left and never came back. You scroll through my pain now, like it's entertainment. Another opioid death, another tent under a bridge, another city hollowed out by promises that never arrived. The ones who built me, who laid bricks, plowed fields, bent metal with calloused hands, their stories fade beneath algorithms. Their legacy is buried beneath hashtags. And I can't breathe through this silence. There was a time you'd fight for me. Now you fight over me. You draw lines where there were none. Red versus blue. Us versus them. Truth versus your truth. But I was never supposed to be a battleground. I was supposed to be home. You forget that I am not just Washington, Wall Street, or war machines. I am the janitor in Omaha, the single mother in Atlanta, the truck driver outside of Tulsa, the homeless veteran under your freeway. I am their breath, their tears, their forgotten dreams. But you've replaced your neighbor with a profile. You speak in outrage. You live in echo chambers. You don't talk. You cancel. You don't build. You scroll. And I am bleeding through every headline, every protest, every sigh beneath a flag too heavy to lift anymore. They told you freedom was eternal. They didn't tell you it could be bought. Tech giants now own the public square. News is no longer truth, it's theater. The same men who once shouted liberty now whisper behind closed doors of control, censorship, and quiet compliance. Your voices? Monetized. Your fears? Weaponized. Your hope? Outsourced to machines and manipulated by metrics. You live inside glass, watching, judging, pretending. You speak of change with fingers and filters, but your souls remain untouched. You gave your dreams away for dopamine. And I was the dream. Now I'm just a server rack somewhere in a Nevada desert. Just data points in someone else's profit model. I remember the laughter on front porches. Fireworks that lit up faces, not just skies. Fathers wiping sweat from brows after 12-hour shifts. Mothers tucking in children with lullabies and whispered prayers. I remember when being American meant you helped the one behind you. When strangers became brothers during floodwaters and blackouts. When we the people meant something more than just ink on parchment. You believed in me once. I could feel it in every soldier's goodbye, every immigrant's trembling first step, every small town holding its breath for tomorrow. I was a lighthouse. Now I flicker, waiting for someone, anyone, to look up. Act 5, a whisper of hope, if you still hear me. And yet, I am still here. Barely. Some nights, I still hear children singing. I still see hands helping strangers. Hearts rising against hate. Voices trembling but honest. That means something. It must. Because if I've learned anything from the ashes of empires before me, it's that survival doesn't begin with power. It begins with remembrance. Remember me. Not the slogans. Not the sales pitch. Not the sanitized version taught in glossy textbooks. Remember the soul of me, the fragile, burning spirit that held a nation together across centuries of storms. If you still care, if even a flicker of that old hope lives in you, then there's still time. But don't wait for someone else to save me. You are me. Every broken promise, every whispered prayer, every protest and tear, it all lives in your choices. So look up. Put down the phone. Hold someone's hand. Speak truth, even when it shakes. Build, even when it breaks. Love, even when it hurts. Because I am still here. Barely. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to begin again. Maybe it's too late. Or maybe, just maybe, you're still listening. If you are, don't let me fade. Not like this.